Hey there, welcome to this masterclass. This is Kim Constable. This is the $100,000 online launch formula masterclass teaching you how to create your first or next $100,000 product launch. Are you excited? Now, this is actually a recording of the masterclass. I've come to my office here on a Sunday to record this masterclass simply because sometimes things go wrong with the recordings, or sometimes the internet crashes, or something doesn't work the way it should work. And so I wanted to make sure that you had a recording available the minute you wanted to watch it, which is why I've decided to record it in advance. But of course, this means that there will be no live cash giveaways. There'll be no Q&A at the end, but I wanted to make sure that you got all the information. And if you do have a question that you want to ask one of my team, we're going to give you details as to where you can do that at the end. Okay, so there's obviously not going to be a cash giveaway, but we do live cash giveaways on the live webinars, 500 at the start and 500 at the end, to one or two. Sometimes I go a bit crazy and do more, lucky people, but unfortunately, because this is a recording, there's no live cash giveaway. But to make sure that you get the most out of this masterclass, I would highly recommend that you turn off all distractions. Just turn off everything. Turn off your phone, turn off your, WhatsApp, everything that pings and distracts you, because we're going to be moving through the content very, very quickly. I have about 100 slides, not even kidding. So I want to make sure that you get this information. So definitely do give yourself the best possible chance of listening and digesting. What I would also love for you to do, even if you are watching the replay, is to post your pictures on Instagram so I can reshare them. So if you just take a picture of your screen and just tag me at The Sculpted Vegan, and also use the hashtag DMB, which is for Digital Marketing Blueprint, which is what this launch is all about. So if you tag me at The Sculpted Vegan, I will reshare them on my Instagram page. And unfortunately, there is not going to be a Q&A at the end, of course, because this is a recording. So if you want to ask me or one of my team a question, we're going to give you details as to how you can do that at the end of the masterclass. Okay, so let's get started. So in this masterclass, you will learn how to create your first or next $100,000 product launch. You'll also learn the first and most important thing you must do before you create a product. You're also going to learn the one thing people do wrong that kills their money-making abilities when launching. I'm also going to teach you how trying to save money when launching is actually costing you money and what you should be doing instead. You will also learn my secret launch booster that will bring you in at least $100,000 in extra revenue if you're brave enough to use it. And I will also teach you the number one thing you must do if you want to break the 6 or 7 figure launch ceiling. But first, before we get started into the training, who the hell am I anyway to even be teaching you any of this? So I want you to allow me to tell you a story. So 12 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mum to 3 young kids. Then unexpectedly, I fell pregnant with a 4th baby, Jack. He was definitely not planned. He was our little surprise. I adored my children and I loved being a mum, but I wanted to be able to make my own money. And if you're a mum, you might understand this, that, we adore being with our children, but we genuinely just want to have our own money to be able to make our own decisions and purchase things that are important to us without always having to consult our husbands or wives or whoever's the main breadwinner. So in those early days, internet marketing was still in the early stages, and I had heard of people making money from selling ebooks and programs online. So you're talking, Jack, my youngest, is 10 now, so that was about 10 years ago. So definitely the market was not as saturated as it is today. I began to study internet marketing, and I launched an online membership called the Work at Home Mums Network. It was a total and utter flop. The program itself was actually really good, but I had no idea how to sell it. So let's just pause here for a second. So the Work at Home Mums Network, I had been reading books. There was one called, I can't remember what it was called, but it was all about different stories of internet entrepreneurs who had been making money online and how they'd done it in their different stories. And in this book was, there was a woman called Cherie McConnell. I don't know whether she's still going or not, but she had launched or had started an internet company. I think it was called Create Your Network. And basically she was teaching people how to start and create network-based businesses. Now, I had moderate success being a work-at-home mum. I had been an audio typist, a portrait artist. I had run a language school for children. I had, been doing various businesses to make money from home, and I had been earning a modest income, like not anywhere near what I'm earning now, of course, but just a modest income. So I thought that, well, this is a skill that I have, so I'm going to teach other mums how to do what I have done. And to be honest, the program itself was actually really, really good. Like, I put together a real kick-ass program, and I researched, and I was very clear in what I was teaching. I've always been a very good teacher. I had been studying internet marketing for, about a year, I guess, at that point. And so I knew a reasonable amount that I could teach. But the problem was I had absolutely no idea how to sell it. In fact, I remember the first day that I launched, my mum was the first person to purchase a program. It was like my big launch day of the Work at Home Mums Network. And I remember checking sales, and it was like, oh my God, I've made like a sale. I think the annual membership was like $297. And I made a $297 sale. And whenever I checked the name, it was my mum. Bless her cotton socks. She was always my biggest supporter, and she still is. Actually, she messaged me this morning saying, good luck on your launch day. And she's always my biggest supporter, which is fantastic. But after 4 years of trying to make the Work at Home Mums Network successful, trying and failing miserably, because honestly, I just had no idea how to proceed, I gave it all up to be a yoga teacher, because yoga had always been a passion of mine. I had been practicing yoga for a long time. I was an advanced practitioner. And so I just threw it all in the bin and said, I'm giving up doing internet marketing because it's not working for me. It's total bullshit, and I just can't make it work. So I'm just going to do what I love, and I'm just going to become a yoga teacher. But after many years of being a yoga teacher, fast forward to 2016, I decided that I was going to train as a vegan bikini athlete. And anyone who's followed me online will know the story behind this of, I looked at my glutes in the mirror one day, and I saw my butt was getting saggy and soft, and I was really skinny. And I realized that I was never going to be able to change my butt by losing body fat. So I started to fill it up with muscle. And I realized how much I loved training, and I thought I would fulfill a lifelong ambition of stepping on stage as a vegan bikini athlete. And I just wanted to find a program that would tell me exactly what to do. Because here's the thing, right? I had been researching online marketing for, several years. Like, what are we now? 2022, Jack's 10. So he was born in 2012. And so this is 2016. So this is 4 years later. So for the past 4 years, I had been exploring internet marketing, and I saw that many people had these marketing programs, which I had wanted to buy, or these online business building programs that if you paid $1,000 or $2,000 for them, they would teach you exactly what to do step by step. And so I thought, well, there's bound to be one of these for bikini athletes, right? But there wasn't. It didn't exist. I searched every single iteration of vegan bodybuilder, vegan bikini athlete, trained to the stage as a vegan athlete, vegan bikini bodybuilder diet. I searched everything online looking for, and I knew specifically what I was looking for. I was looking for a done for you resource. I was looking for a program that I could download that would have step by step how to go from A to B, how to go from where I am now to the stage. And I was willing to pay. In my mind, I'd already thought, how much would I be willing to pay for this? And I thought I would be willing to pay, if the program looks good, upward of $2,000 for it. But it did not exist. But here's the thing. I realized that if I was searching for this specific program, then there must be thousands of other women around the globe also searching, because the internet has opened the entire world up. It's not like you're just, looking for customers in your local area anymore. You now have a global audience whenever you are selling online. So I started to design the sculpted vegan 12-month program. What I basically did was I hired myself a personal trainer. He had no idea how to do my vegan nutrition, but he helped me do my macros and my calories and proteins, carbs and fats and all that kind of stuff. And I then committed to learning every single thing that I could about vegan bodybuilding nutrition. And I'd already had a very strong background in nutrition anyway, from being a yoga teacher and a detox yoga teacher. I've always been a total geek about the human body. I've been studying it since I was about 20 years of age. stage. So I was able to kind of bring all that knowledge together, all that expertise and all that study to create a 12-month program that was basically going to teach, and this is the only graphic I could find, by the way, that was basic. It's a very old one. I basically wanted to teach women how to go from where they are now to standing on stage in 12 months, because that's exactly what I did. So I started to record all of my workouts. I started to record all of my food, create recipes. I started to, every single thing that I did or that I was doing to get to the stage, I wrote it all down. And basically what I was going to sell, because I wasn't a PT, I'm still not a PT, I'm not a personal trainer, I have no qualifications in personal training, I'm not a qualified nutritionist. I don't really honestly believe in qualifications. I think that a lot of people, go after qualifications because they think that it's going to mean something or make them be paid better or something, but I don't believe that that's true. And certainly I'm living proof that it's not true. So I started to design the Sculpted Vegan 12-month program, and then I launched the program based on exactly what I had done. So it was like, here's what I did to get to the stage, and you can do what I did. So here are the stats. I launched in October 2017. I created my own Facebook ads for a free webinar. Okay, I didn't hire a Facebook ads person. I created my own ads. I sold a $997 program at the end of the webinar, and I did 0 Facebook retargeting ads. What does this mean? Well, whenever you run ads to a webinar such as this one, if you sell something at the end of the webinar, you will normally target all of the people who signed up for the webinar with a separate set of retargeting ads, which is basically retargeting them for sale. And then quite often you can retarget them again, and you can have, people who hit your cart but who didn't actually purchase. You can target them as specific ads. So it's very complex what you can do with Facebook ads. But the course that I had bought, it was only an inexpensive course. It was only like $497, and it didn't teach those advanced strategies, and I didn't even have time to learn them. So all I did was run ads, just graphics, not even videos, to one webinar, and I sold a $997 program at the end. So what did it look like? Well, I made $52,000 at launch, and I made $1 million in the first 12 months from one $997 program. That is it. Now, how on earth did I manage to do that? Well, I'll tell you that in a second, actually. Let me explain this first. So since then, I have launched more than 50 times. I've sold more than 150,000 programs, and I make an average of $500,000 to $2 million per launch, right? So let's go back to this one. So how did I do this? How did I make $52,000 and how did I make $1 million the first 12 months? Well, I took the program that I had purchased, or that I had created, the 997 program, and I took the live webinar, like this one you're watching at the minute, okay? So this isn't a live webinar, this is a recorded webinar. But I could take this recorded webinar and I could put this on what's called Evergreen. So what you do is you upload this to a software company such as Easy Webinar. That's who we use for our Evergreen webinars. You upload the recording of this, and then you send Facebook ad traffic to sign up to watch the recording. So you guys all signed up to watch this live webinar, but you didn't make the live webinar, so you're watching the recording. And so you all signed up for this live webinar, but I could take this webinar that I've recorded now, and I could put this on Evergreen, and I could send Facebook ad traffic to the recorded webinar. And then if I sell something at the end, which by the way, I am going to, then anyone who people can then purchase at the end. So after I had run the live webinar, I then put it on Evergreen, and it continued to generate money for the next 12 months. And it generated more than $1 million in the next 12 months. And like I said, I've since launched more than 50 times. In fact, I think I probably launched more than 50, because I look at all these graphics. This was only like some. I just went into like my old kind of Facebook accounts and different things. I started to pull out all the graphics. We do have these central somewhere inside our Google Workspace, but I don't think we have them all, every single graphic. But like I actually eliminated about 30 of them because I just couldn't fit them all in. But these are just some of the programs that we have launched over the last 4 years. I know everything there is to know about launching. I'm an absolute pro at it. The Sculpted Vegan is also now the world's largest online vegan bodybuilding company. I've been featured in Forbes magazine, Inc. magazine, Entrepreneur magazine, Elle magazine. I've done TED Talks. I mean, I'm not saying this to boast, but whenever we started running the ads for this masterclass, we had a lot of people say, a lot of comments on the abs, mostly mostly from men, have to be honest. Like obviously men are pissed off because I have bigger muscles than them and I have a bigger bank balance than them. So a lot of men were very pissed off that I dared to run these ads, especially looking, like a sexy ripped woman in them. And so they were saying like it was a scam. We were getting a lot of comments on the ads, people going, oh, this is a scam and this is a money making scam and this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. And, I was like, I own the world's largest online vegan bodybuilding company. Like we did $11 million in the last couple of years. I kind of know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I don't really care what those men think. They're never going to sign up for the masterclass anyway. And they're probably never going to amount to anything in their lives either. So just as a little FYI. So how do I create 6 and 7 figure launches? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to teach you inside this masterclass, and we're going to get into the content right now. So I do this by following 5 simple steps. Step number 1, create a program that solves a specific and common problem. So let me give you a bit of a case study as to how we do this. So in 2020, I noticed that the female population was becoming obsessed with bigger glutes. My immediate social media newsfeed was full of influencers doing booty workouts, scrunch bum leggings, booty bands, glute building programs, thong and Brazilian cut bikinis. So, I mean, I don't know whether you guys have noticed it as well, but I guess for me, like the reason why I got into bodybuilding was because I hated my butt. So I really did not like the look of my butt. And then I just noticed over the years there was, Brett Contreras, who's the glute guy. I can't remember what he calls himself or what he goes by. But anyway, he's a very good friend of mine. I've interviewed him on the podcast. He was kind of he exploded onto the world as the glute growth guy, and there wasn't really anyone rivaling him. There was a couple of smaller influencers, but I realized that glutes were on the rise because everywhere you looked, there was the TikTok leggings, there was influencers putting inserts down their butt to make it look bigger. There was, booty shaping jeans, there was cellulite creams and all different kinds of workouts, whatever. And I thought, this is a rising market. Okay. I recognized that women were very, very, very interested in building bigger glutes. So in response to this thing that I noticed, I created the 8-week butt camp. Okay. It cost $97. That's all of my fitness programs, apart from the bigger ones, which are longer and have more complex arrangements. We keep our prices very low at about $97 per program. So I created the 8-week butt camp. We launched this program in June 2020 and we made $300,000 in the first 2 weeks of launch. We have since relaunched it 5 times and it has now grossed more than $1.8 million. And that is in less than 2 years. That's in 18 months. In 18 months, this program, this $197 program has grossed $1.8 million. Isn't that absolutely insane? So actually, let me go back to this for a second. So how has the butt camp managed to gross so much money? Well, a couple of different reasons. The first one is I found a problem first. I didn't decide, I really love glutes, so I'm going to create a glute building program. I actually found a problem that existed already and then created a solution to solve it. And this is the mistake that many people make. Many people, when they create products or programs, they get really, really passionate about something. So that they're in an industry, say, right? So say they are in the coaching industry, and there's many, many women, especially in the coaching industry. And let's say they're a mindset coach, okay? And so I get loads and loads of coaches coming to me because we've launched a couple of different business programs now. I've had over 1,000 people go through my business training, and I will have, say, mindset coaches come to me and they'll say, I empower women to live more vibrantly and joyfully and healthy, and I want to create a program to empower them to live a more vibrant and joyful life. And I'm like, no. They're like, what do you mean no? I'm like, empowering is such a crap word, by the way. Empowering, it doesn't mean anything. It's not measurable. Anyone who ever uses the word empower in their marketing and who's in my company, I make them take it out, right? So whenever coaches come up with like this, I want to empower women to lead a more joyful and vibrant life, it's not specific, okay? If you're a mindset coach and you can actually create lasting change, lasting emotional change with your clients, what I would advise that you do is you look for a problem that you can solve. Look for a problem that you can solve first. Don't you decide what it is that women need. Look for the problems that they actually have. So maybe women have a problem, and it has to be specific. Maybe every time I go to the school gates, I get anxiety. Maybe I have a major problem in social situations. Maybe I'm okay in small gatherings, but in larger gatherings, I start to suffer from anxiety, okay? And if you start seeing within groups, within, the groups that you're in Facebook, the communities that you're part of, the comments on your social media, once you start to connect with your audience, you will start to see the questions come through consistently again and again and again, that the things that people are suffering from. And so the problems that they're suffering from. And if you create a solution to the problem that they are suffering from, then you have a market of people ready to buy. We did this with we ran a program called the Meal Planning Masterclass. So what happened was, I kept seeing in my social media, I have about just under 500,000 Instagram followers, and people kept asking me inside my groups. We have about 100,000 people in our Facebook groups, and I have, like I said, about 400 and something thousand on Instagram. And I kept constantly being asked, what do you eat? What should I eat? What should my macros be? How much should I eat to lose body fat? How much should I eat to lose weight? How much should I eat to build muscle? So this consistent question kept coming up about eating. And I saw it everywhere, no matter how many times I talked about it, or I talked about it in Q&As, or I did freebies, or I did lives, or I created programs, because all my programs have meal plans as part of them, and recipes and all that kind of stuff. No matter how many times I did this, it didn't matter. Didn't matter how many times I did it. People still asked the same fucking question. So I was like walking with my husband one morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a meal planning masterclass. I'm going to go live for 3 hours, and I'm going to teach exactly what people should do to eat as a vegan bodybuilder. And I created the meal planning masterclass. I advertised it on Facebook. I put it out to my network. We sold 1,000 spaces for the live masterclass, and we made $100,000 for 3 hours work. So the takeaway that I want you to take from this is, to create a $100,000 launch, you must find a problem that needs solving before you create your program. And if you can find a rising market, even better. So what's a rising market? A rising market is like the butt camp, okay? So glutes were on the rise, physically and metaphorically. So glutes were on the rise. So all I did was create a product that solved this problem. It's the same with the meal planning masterclass. Like, that was a $100,000 launch. It was a $97 masterclass. All I had to do was show up for 3 hours and teach it live. We created a handbook to go with it that people could download, and we made $100,000 for 3 hours work. It's a funny story, because my husband represents rugby players, and he had just done a deal for one of his players for some sponsorship deal or something that they were doing, or a contract that he was negotiating. And he said to me, this person has to, every week they have to travel, they have to get up at 4 a.m., they have to be away from their family, they have to whatever, and the contract was worth about $100,000 a year. And he said to me, you just earned more. Actually, the contract was worth about $90,000 a year, I think. He said to me, you just earned more in your 3-hour masterclass than this person's going to earn for the entire year. And it kind of put it in perspective for me. But this is the power of finding a problem to solve before you create your program. It kind of flips it on its head and does it in reverse, but it's what I do before I create any program. I never, ever go, oh, I know what I'm going to create today. I'm going to create a new program. No, I look for the questions that people are asking. I look for the problems that they're suffering from, and then I create a solution for the problem. And if you do that, you are well on your way to $100,000 or more in launches. Okay, step number 2, just checking my time. Excellent. Be bold and specific with your promise. What do I mean by this? Well, when we created this masterclass that you're watching now, I deliberately marketed a very specific problem that entrepreneurs suffer from, which is selling their product online. But when we launched the ads, the cost was double what it normally is for registrations. So we normally pay about $15, between $5 and $15 per registration. But the cost of Facebook ads has gone up massively now, because the giants like Nike and Coca-Cola and Chanel and Prada and Dior and all of those ones, Louis Vuitton, they're all bringing their massive, massive ad budgets into Facebook. And so it's really pushing the smaller entrepreneur. Well, it's not pushing the smaller entrepreneur out, but it's making it much harder for smaller entrepreneurs to play around with Facebook ads. You need to know exactly what you're doing whenever you're running Facebook ads now in order to be able to make money from them. There's really no room for error anymore in Facebook ads. And so whenever I created this masterclass, I knew who I wanted to target with the masterclass. And so I created a very specific ad for it. But we examined the funnel. Sorry, let me go back quickly. But the cost per lead we noticed was coming in at about $35, even higher sometimes. It was averaging about $35 per lead. That means for every person who registered for the masterclass, it was costing me $35 per registration rather than $10 to $15 per registration. So we examined the funnel carefully and noticed that the opt-in page was only converting at about 20% compared to the normal 40%. What is an opt-in page? An opt-in page is basically after you've seen a Facebook ad. I don't know how you found this masterclass, but maybe you saw a Facebook ad, you clicked on the ad and it took you to an opt-in page. The opt-in page said, the $100,000 online launch formula, click here to sign up. There's 3 times available. So you would have signed up for one of the times. And so that is an opt-in page, okay? So a lot of people can click your ad, but it doesn't really matter how many people click on your ad. It's how many people actually opt in on the opt-in page that matters. That number should be about 40% if your opt-in page is good, but we noticed it was only about 20%. So this could only mean one thing, and that is that the promise of the masterclass wasn't bold enough. So what happens was we looked at the ads and we noticed the ads were converting a huge amount of traffic, even though we were getting dicky men commenting that I look like a cheap hooker. I've been called all the names of the day. It's so funny. So they were calling me all the names of the day in the ads and saying it was a scam and all the rest of it. We did still notice that there was a huge amount of traffic clicking through from the ads, but the opt-in page wasn't converting them. So what we did was we changed the title of the masterclass. Now, some of you may have opted into the masterclass on the left, and some of you may have opted into the masterclass on the right. It doesn't matter. I was going to teach exactly the same content anyway. So how we launched the masterclass whenever we began was we launched the free training, 5 reasons your online course isn't selling and what to do instead. That's what the title of the masterclass was. These are actually ads that I've dropped in here that we created. And so we changed the title of the masterclass and we put at the very top, new free training by the Sculpted Vegan, so people would know who I was and I knew what I was talking about. And we changed it to the $100,000 online launch formula. Create your first or next $100,000 product launch. Now, within 24 hours of changing, we changed the opt-in page, we changed all of the ads, we even recorded a new video. So we changed the entire Facebook ad campaign and we managed to drop the price from $35 per lead to $15 per lead. So one small change and we didn't change any of the branding. We simply changed the title of the masterclass and we dropped the cost per lead. So here is the takeaway that I want you to really pay attention to. Human beings want to be thinner, richer, and happier. And they want it quickly and easily. Let's go back. If you saw that one on the left, the $100,000 online launch formula, you know in the back of your mind that attending one masterclass isn't going to make you $100,000, okay? Everybody knows. You're not fucking stupid, right? But still, there's that little glimmer of hope. There's that this person must make $100,000. This person's going to teach me the magic pill, the one thing, the game-changing piece of information that I just don't have that's gonna make me have that $100,000 launch. Or, it's like, whenever if you ever purchased a piece of designer clothing or a designer purse or something, and you have this aspirational piece of beautiful designer luggage and it makes you feel a certain way to carry it, right? This is exactly what marketing is. Those big brands like Chanel and Louis Vuitton and Prada, they market a feeling to their audience. Whenever you're carrying around that Chanel handbag, you have a feeling carrying it. You're like, I'm part of the Chanel club. I am, it makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you feel more noticeable. It makes you feel like a more powerful human, right? You can say this is wrong and it shouldn't be that way and all the rest of it, but it is that way. So the graphic on the right, the $100,000 online launch, gives you more of a feeling, like an aspirational feeling. And it's something that people want more of. The one on the left, 5 reasons your online course isn't selling, it's not really sexy enough, okay? It's very specific, but it's not really sexy enough. So I decided that I would go for sexy, and boom, it worked. And always remember this, we're going to come back to this later. They want to be thinner, richer, and happier, and they want it quickly and easily, and that is the key. So what's the takeaway from this? Well, you must be bold with your promise. I was going to say bored there. You must be bold with your promise. Experts aren't afraid to make bold promises because they can put their money where their mouth is. If you are truly an expert, have the confidence to show it. So what I mean by this is I have a company that's worth more than $11 million. Okay, actually I have two companies. In fact, I have several companies, but two main companies. And so they're worth, my two online businesses are worth more than $11 million. We consistently make $100, $200, $300, $500 million, $2 million at launch. Okay. Every single launch. And we launch all the time. In 2021, we did 11 launches in 12 months. We nearly died from it. The whole team was exhausted and burnt out. But you know what? Fuck it. We did it. And we made a shitload of money and we doubled our turnover. So I know what I'm talking about. I can make this promise, right? I can make this promise, the $100,000 online launch formula, because I do $100,000 launches all the time. I'm not promising something that I haven't done. So if you've never done a $100,000 launch and you can't actually teach how to do it, don't say that you can. You can't ever lie to your audience, but you have to find something that you have done that is spectacular enough to make them trust you as an expert. And if you're not yet an expert, then you need to become one. You need to get more experience. You need to study more under the masters. You need to work harder yourself, right? So you have to be an expert in order to make bold promises. Marketing is selling them what they want. Now, the reason why I have pictures in here of me in like bikinis and stuff is simply because this shit sells, okay? Whenever I'm selling fitness programs, like people see this kind of image, and this is a recent image. I just got it done not that long ago, but people see this image, right? And they go, she's obviously mature, she's in her 40s, but fuck, she looks hot. And, you know, and they go, fitness, they see the word vegan, they see a 43-year-old woman, they see, well, I'm nearly 43, they see, you know, fitness, they join the dots and they think, oh, this woman must be selling vegan fitness bodybuilding programs, and fuck me, look at her, she's hot, so I'm going to trust her, right? So they look at that and they think, I want that. So whenever you're in fitness, you can actually use pictures to sell. And if you don't have really hot pictures of yourself looking ripped and toned and whatever, don't be selling fitness programs. Okay. The caveat to that is that there actually are a lot of kind of muscular men, or there's actually a lot of fitness trainers out there who really don't have great bodies, but they have a huge amount of knowledge and they prep a lot of bikini athletes. So either you have to be able to show yourself looking like this, or you have to be able to show the results of your clients looking like this. But either way, you have to be able to show results, because marketing is selling them what they want, and you have to be able to show that you know what you're talking about. So the takeaway from this second point is, you want to sell them what they want, but give them what they need. Experts aren't afraid to be bold with their promises and put their money where their mouth is. So you have to be an expert. Now, let's go back to this, sell them what they want, give them what they need. This is actually something that Marie Forleo teaches. Marie Forleo, founder of B School. She calls it a Trojan horse marketing strategy, as far as I know. But I always loved it, and it's absolutely perfect, because people will say to me, but like, you know, are you not lying to people saying that you're going to teach them how to create $100,000 launches? You know, and I'm like, no, I'm not, because I can teach them how to build $100,000 launches. But let me tell you something. There'll be loads of people will join my programs and they will never have a $100,000 launch within the first 6 months. It might take them a couple of years to have that, but that's because they're further away than they thought they were from their goal. So they thought they were closer, or they thought they had more of what it took. And once they get into the trenches and start doing the work, then they realize, they start to get real data. Because until you actually get in the trenches and start doing the work, you don't have any data. You only have a hypothesis in your head. So you're like, I think I can have a $100,000 launch in 6 months. And then you get in, you start doing the trenches, you get into the trenches, and you have someone like Kim Constable saying, okay, you need this and you need this and you have to do this. And then you realize, oh shit, I don't have this and I don't have this and I don't have this and I don't have this. So you have to start, once you get in the trenches and start gathering data, you may not have what it needs, what you need to get there as fast as you want to get there, but that doesn't mean that you still don't want to purchase it. Does that make sense? So you sell them what they want. Everybody wants to have a $100,000 launch and they want it fast. So that's what I'm going to sell them. If anyone buys my program, Digital Marketing Blueprint, which is how to create a $100,000 launch in 168 days or less. 168 days is 6 months. If you purchase that program and you do every single thing that I tell you to do, and you show up to every single live training, and you show up to, and you do exactly, specifically, step by step what I tell you, you will have a $100,000 launch. But if you don't or you can't, then you won't, or it may just take you a little bit longer. But that's what you need to hear. But you sell them what they want, which is a $100,000 launch, but then you give them what they need, which is, well, sweetheart, you're a little bit further away than you thought you were, but you have just to keep moving forward. Does this make the sense? Hopefully this is making sense for you and that you're enjoying it. Okay, step number 3, don't skimp on design, copywriting, and video editing. To master a $100,000 launch, every single part of your funnel must be perfect. You cannot have a crappy sales page, terrible copywriting, shitty ad graphics, or a bad sales video. You just can't. So I want you to take a guess, okay? What is the biggest mistake people make online when creating sales pages or opt-in pages or offerings? Since we're not doing this live, I just want you to think about it to yourself in your head, right? What is the biggest mistake people make online when creating sales pages, opt-in pages, and offerings? The answer, they use too many words and overcomplicate things. Experts can make things simple, if not simpler. Every time I write something, every time I create something, I read it and reread it and reread it and reread it, and I take away and take away and take away and take away. I'm constantly taking away. I'm constantly asking myself, what more can I take away that it is still perfect, that it still conveys the message that I want to convey? Because quite often we want to showcase all of our talents. We want to showcase everything we can do. We want to showcase all of our products and all of our things and all of our ways we can help people. And so we end up confusing the hell out of them. Experts are people who can distill things down into the simplest possible form and convey the message very clearly and very concisely using very, very few words. So people generally who are new to the market and who are, trying to launch online and who are desperately grappling and hustling for sales, they confuse their customers with long blocks of text, too many price offerings, too many features, too much of everything. I've seen people with sales pages and it's like, here's my program. It costs $1,000 and you can pay up front $1,000, or you can pay in 2 installments, or you can pay in 4 installments, or you can pay in 6 installments, or you can pay in 12 installments, or you can only pay for half the program now and then pay for half again at another time, or you can just sign up for 1 month, or you can have it monthly recur. And you're like, oh my God, far too many options. The human brain cannot compute any more than 3 options at any one time. 3 options, that's it. Okay. And so you don't want to have, and it should be one price split into potentially or 3 options. So it's like one price for your basic, one price for your, your gold standard, one price for your platinum. Okay. That's how we price Digital Marketing Blueprint. We price it as the basic option, the bronze option, the gold option, the silver option, the gold option, and the platinum option. Okay. 3 different options, and each of them have 2 price points: pay in full, or pay over 12 months. That's it. So once you've chosen, okay, I'm going for the silver or I'm going for the platinum, you have 2 different options: pay in 1 installment or pay over 12 months. And it's the same with sales pages. The amount of times I've seen people's sales pages and I've clicked on and they're just text. It's like, and there's nowhere to break it up. There's nowhere for the eye to go. There's no headlines. There's nothing driving home what it is I'm going to get whenever I purchase this program. Whenever you create a sales page, you're creating a feeling. It's like someone watching a movie, except they're reading it. You want to lead them through the movie. You want to lead them through the feeling, the journey of where they are now and what they're going to get if they actually purchase your offering. That's what a sales page should do. People confuse it. So let's give you an example. This is the 8-week boot camp sales page because I talked about it earlier, so I thought I'll bring it up now. So note, this is just the top of the sales page, okay? The sales pages our sales pages are very long. Your sales page should be long, by the way, because some people will read every single word on your sales page and others will just scroll and scroll. They'll just, not scroll, they'll skim. And so you want to make sure the page is long enough so when they skim, the different sections are catching their eye. You want to make sure they have sections in there for visual people, like the testimonials. You want to make sure they have sections in there for people who like to read. You want to make sure you have a video in there for people who like to watch videos. So people process information differently. There's digital people like me, and then there's visual people, and then there's kinesthetic people. So each of us has a primary mode of way that we take in information. I'm very, very digital. I don't like to watch videos or see pictures. I just want you to tell me what it is. I'm very auditory digital. So if you look at this page, the design is striking. The copywriting is top notch. The images are high resolution. Oh my God. See low resolution images on a sales page? It drives me banana. Seriously, hire a fucking photographer. Get a decent bloody image. This is your company. This is your brand. You can't half-ass it. Testimonials here are top and center for social proof, because whenever you're going to buy a program like the Butt Camp, you want to see, does it work? What's the first thing people are asking in their minds when they're going to buy a fitness program? Does it work? Is my butt going to look any different? And so whenever you see the pictures here, you're like, oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. So you can suddenly imagine your butt and what it's going to look like. It looks professional. It says we are trustworthy. This is whenever you give a lot of attention to your brand, what you're saying is we are a trustworthy brand. We look at us. We're professional. We have the high quality images. We have the high quality design. We haven't skimmed. You can trust us. That is what you're saying whenever you put time, energy, and effort into your branding and into your company. You're telling people they can trust you. Even if you are a new business, you must look like you are not. When launching the Sculpted Vegan, I knew that I could only charge $9.97 for a product if it looked like it was worth it. I always aimed for high-end design. I knew that I couldn't get away with charging $1,000 for a fitness program if it didn't actually look like it was worth $1,000. I have seen some horrendously shitty sales pages and websites and products out there, and I do not know how they are getting away with charging what they're charging, because me, personally, whenever I go to buy something, I look at, is this person a reputable company? Do they actually look like they know what they're talking about? So your website should be clean and clear with only one offering on the homepage. So this is what's called below the fold on my homepage. So there's different sections of your homepage. Above the fold is there's actually a video running in the background, so that's why it didn't look good to screen grab it. But we now only have one offering on our homepage, and that is our new Sculpted Vegan app. That's it. And somebody lands on our website, the only thing we want them to do is sign up for the Sculpted Vegan app. Do you see how clear and bright it is? Do you see how, it says, let's do something different. The world's first and only vegan fitness app with easy to follow workout plans for home and gym, calorie macro counted vegan meal plans, and 24-hour coaching support. Download in the Apple Store, download in Google Play. Join more than 100,000 people who've transformed their bodies. Do you see? It's very, very simple. And then we have Forbes, Sunday Times, This Morning, Irish News, Loose Women, different places I've been featured over the years. So if you want to explore our other programs, then there is a tab at the top which says programs. You can click on it and you can look at our other programs. But all we want people to do is to sign up for our app at the minute. And every single program that we're launching, we put that program top and center of our website. So we create a section at the top which pushes this section down, which basically has something like this at the top. So see where it says Butt Camp, the killer 8-week training program. That will be the very top and center of our program. And whenever it says get the 8-week Butt Camp, people click on that and it takes them to the Butt Camp sales page. So your website has to be clean, clear. Your offerings should be very concise, and don't confuse people with too many offerings. These are some of the ad graphics for Butt Camp. Again, everything you do has to be professional. It has to look professional. So we're going to talk a little bit more about ads in a minute, but whenever you're running Facebook ads, you want to make sure that you have many, many graphics. We normally have 6 to 8 different graphics, and we have 1 or 2 different videos. So people will, one graphic will generally, or a couple of graphics will perform better than other graphics. And so you will obviously test them to see which ones work the best, but these are just an example of some of the different graphics that we have. You can see they're all similar, but apart from anything else, they're eye-grabbing, they're eye-catching. They've got the 42,000 in cash prizes. Again, we're going to talk about that at the end. That's all top and center. These are designed to catch people's attention, which they do. They're very, very effective. Okay, so takeaway number 3, don't create an amazing program and then half-ass the design. Be intentional in everything you do. Hire a designer, a copywriter, a video editor, and aim to look like you're worth trusting. You don't have to spend a fortune on these things. You can hire extremely inexpensive people on websites like People Per Hour or Upwork or Fiverr, right? So you can hire loads of people on there, people working in India who are working, who charge far, far, far less than people over here do. I got my first website designed, the Work at Home Mums Network, and it cost me, I think it cost me $197, right? For the entire website. It was a membership website, and I got it done in India. So if you are willing to do the work and look around, you can get graphics done, you can get web work done, you can get everything. But here's the secret to hiring freelancers on the likes of Fiverr or People Per Hour. You have to send them specifically what it is you're looking for. So we have had people in my business groups, especially in my Platinum Masterminds, we've given them well, actually, we generally have a list of freelancers that we would recommend, but I say to them, send them my ad graphics, right? Here's all our ad graphics for Bootcamp. Here's all our ad graphics for whatever. We give them all of the graphics and we say to them, choose the ones that you like the most and send those to your designer and say, this is exactly what I want to create. This look, this feel, this is exactly how I want it to be laid out. If you give a designer who you find very inexpensively exactly what you want, they can usually create it for you. And then you're not, reliant on them and back and forth and whatever to give you one. You have to decide what it is you want. From the very beginning, when I hired my first designer, I sent him, here are all of the websites that I like. Here's the look and the feel that I'm going for. This is what I want you to create. I never left it to chance. I was always very intentional in everything I did, and you should be too. Okay, number 4, my secret launch booster that will bring you in at least $100,000 in extra revenue if you're brave enough to use it. Ooh, it's exciting, isn't it? Okay, so when I launched the 4-week shred in 2018, I offered a $5,000 cash prize for the person who made the biggest transformation. I actually think this was the second launch of the 4-week shred because, again, this is the only graphic I could find. It's a terrible, it's terribly pixelated, but you get the gist. I actually like to show the old graphics because it just shows how far we've come. Now, remember, right? And I put this picture in here because, well, I'll tell you why in a second. So remember, human beings want to be thinner, richer, and happier, and they want it quickly and easily. These are photos of me whenever we stayed recently in the Marbella Club. It was actually last year. We went to the Marbella Club for a week. The Marbella Club is a very, very exclusive upmarket hotel in Marbella in Spain. And every day I was posting my outfits, and we were going out for dinner and we were going to the beach. And I love to really coordinate and put together my outfits whenever I travel. And people love it. Like these photos on Instagram they got thousands and thousands and thousands of likes because this is aspirational for people. They look at these photos and they want the Chanel and the Louis Vuitton and they want the tan and they want the, the Hermes sandals and you know what I mean? They want, this is aspirational for people who follow me, not for everybody, right? But it is aspirational for some people who follow me because they want the lifestyle. They want to be thinner, they want to be richer, and they want to be happier. And they look at this and they think if I was as thin as her, as rich as her, I would be as happy as her. So people aspire to people who are like them or who they want to be like. So you have to embody and represent this. So why is this even relevant to what I'm saying about the prize money? Well, I knew that the $5,000 cash would be a great motivator for people to stay the course. And so I worked out how many programs I would need to sell to cover the prize fund. So let me break this down and then I'll explain it. So the program cost at the time $47. So I knew that if I made 107 sales, I would make $5,029. I sold 130 programs in the first day of launch and 1,800 programs in 14 days. My gross profit was $84,600. The prize fund was $5,000. The Facebook ads cost me $15,000, and my net profit was $64,600. This was $600. This was the first time I had ever run a competition for a fitness program. In fact, it was the first time I'd ever run a fitness program apart from the 12-month program, because at the time I only had the 12-month program. But to go way back to point 1, I had started noticing inside my 12-month program that people kept asking for body fat. They wanted to lose body fat. They just kept saying, I know that I'm supposed to be building, and I know that this is a journey, and I know this is a process, but if I just could lose the body fat, I would be happy. If I could just get a little bit more shredded, I would be happy. If I could just see muscle definition, I would be happy. People just kept wanting to lose body fat. And so in the beginning, before I realized that this was a massive opportunity for me to create and solve these create solutions to solve these problems, I would judge these people and I would say, for God's sake, would you stop being so impatient? You need to spend a year building before you shred fat. You need to do this. You need to do that. I never, ever judge now what people want. It was the same with home programs. People wanted home programs. They kept saying, is there a program I can do from home? I can't get to the gym. And I would be like, no self-respecting athlete will ever train from home. So I resisted creating home programs for years until the global pandemic hit and gyms closed. And I had to create home programs. I spent an entire year creating home programs and my business doubled. My turnover doubled. Now I don't judge what it is that people are asking for. I just create it. Same with menopause. For many, many years, women were saying, do you have anything for menopause? Oh, Kim, what about menopause? And I was saying, oh, I'm not in menopause yet. So when I'm there, I'm sure I'll create something. But like, just right at the minute, it doesn't interest me. Oh my God, what a dick. I should have been on menopause years ago. Menopause is the new veganism. We are now going way hard on menopause, because it's a rising market. So just to go back to what I was saying earlier, menopause is not only a problem, it's a rising market. And we are right at the forefront of the menopause market. We are launching our first 12-week menopause shred in April, and it's going to be huge. So let's go back to this point here. Human beings want to be thinner, richer, happier, and they want it quickly and easily. Whenever I launched the 4-week shred, I was like, oh my God, $5,000 prize. Like, really? Is this gonna, like, are people actually going to purchase this? Or no. Am I going to be able to cover this prize fund? Like, it was really scary for me because I didn't have $5,000. And it was like, oh, fuck, what do I do? Well, I did have $5,000 because I was running a successful business, but I was plowing all my money into ads to run the 12-month program. And it was a risk, basically. So spending the $5,000 or giving it away was a risk. And so I was like, oh, will I won't do. But then whenever I broke it down, it was like, well, how many do I actually need to sell, right? Because I knew that I had everything else sewn up. I had a great sales page. I had a great set of emails to my list. I had a great designer who created me the most gorgeous designs. I had created a real kick-ass program. So I knew that I had every single box ticked. I had a Facebook ads manager who was managing all my Facebook ads and doing absolutely amazingly. So I didn't need to worry about that. So I knew that I had all the boxes ticked, and I thought, I'm definitely going to be able to cover the prize fund, right? Worst case scenario, I only sell 100 and I lose a bit of money, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I bit the bullet and I did it. $5,000. It seemed like a huge amount of money. Well, I covered that in the first day. I couldn't believe it. By the end of the first day, I was like, oh my God, everything from here on in is profit. It was a risk, but the risk paid off. And in the end, I made $64,600 and I thought that I was minted. I thought that this was like an incredible, and it was a good launch for my first ever one, but this is like way back in 2018. So I'm much more refined now, but it is a really, really good strategy. So prize funds or giveaways are a great way to add money to your bottom line. But remember, your program must solve a real problem, be bold with its promise, and have every part of the funnel well designed before you even think about adding a prize fund. So let me see what I've written in the next slide. Yeah, okay, so I'll explain the takeaway here. So the takeaway from this is the bigger the prize money, the more sales you will make. When we launched Bootcamp 2.0, which is the revamped Bootcamp with a gym program added, we doubled the prize money and sold 120,000 more programs than usual. So an extra $20,000 in prize money for an extra $120,000 in sales. So if you have, but I need to go back to this bit, okay? If your program solves a real problem, is bold with its promise, and has every part of the funnel well designed, then you can add a prize fund. But I have seen this go drastically wrong. So there's a girl who came to me about a year ago, I think, or just over a year ago, about 18 months ago. And she said, she was a friend of a friend, and she said, can I ask your advice? She said, I've launched this program. It was basically a shred program, but she'd called it something other. I think it was called the Cut and Cleanse. And she said to me, I'm worried because I've offered like $1,000 first prize, 500 second, and 250 third prize. And she said, I'm hardly selling any programs. Like I've only sold 10 programs or something. And I think 6 of those are from my list, and my Facebook ads don't seem to be working, and I just don't know what is wrong. Can you have a look at it? And I said, sure, no problem at all. So I looked at her funnel and I realized that there was a couple of major things she had done incorrectly. She didn't have the price on the sales page. The sales page was a bit confused. It didn't have the exact promise of the program right at the start. It was well designed, but she had missed a couple of different, a couple of silly things she'd missed. And also at the bottom of it, in order to see the price of the program, it said you had to enter your email address. You had to enter your email address to see the price of the program to move on to the next stage. So this was a massive barrier to entry. So then once you put in your email address, then it took you to the payment page. But then there was something else wrong with that as well. Then, I remember then once she joined, or once, because I did then just purchase the program and to see what happened. Then I started getting flooded with all these emails. She sent me, you get access to this and access to this and access to this. Now you're an insider and you get access to the vault. And I was like, but I only bought this one program. What is all this vault and members and all of this different stuff? So she'd fallen into the trap that I say not to fall into, which was she'd added far too much to the offering, but she'd also created barriers to entry on the sales page that really didn't need to be there. The third thing she'd done wrong was I had my Facebook ads, my marketing director of marketing, Vanessa Vega, I had her go through all of the Facebook ads, and she said to me, Kim, these are set up so badly. She said they're set up by an amateur. She goes, there's no pixels. She said there's no tracking. She said there's no retargeting. There's nothing. She said they haven't even been set up correctly for sale. So the Facebook ads, whoever she paid to do this, had no idea what they were doing. So I went back to her with the bad news and I said, here's what I would do. I would refund the people that you have already purchased, or I would ask them, do they want to hold their entry for another time? You're not going to be able to honor the prize money, because she was worried about, the prize money or whatever that she had offered that she wasn't actually able to cover, and she'd lost money up until this point. And so, and in the end, I think she ended up doing what I said. She offered them a refund, or she offered them still the program, but free entry into the next competition, which I think most of them took. So it was fine. But my point is, you can only offer prize money, big prize money, if you are sure every part of your funnel is correct. And you need to make sure that it is first. That is something we're going to be teaching in our digital marketing blueprint program. It's about how to make sure every single tiny part is correct. It's not rocket science. But it's not rocket science if you know. If you don't know, then you could make mistakes, which is what a lot of people do. But if you add prize money to your program, it doesn't matter what it is. If I was running a learn guitar program, I would still figure out a way that I could offer a prize, because humans love prize money because they want to be thinner, richer, and happier, and they want it quickly. So adding a prize money to all of my shred programs not only entices people to stay the course and work towards a common goal, but it also makes them choose. If you had an 8-week fitness program over here and you had an 8-week fitness program over here, but you could win $20,000, which one are you going to choose? Well, you're going to choose the $20,000 one, aren't you? So that's why we offer huge prize fund. At the minute, our prize funds are up to $42,000. And we're actually launching a program in September called the Ultimate Bodybuilding Physique, or the Ultimate Physique program, I think it's called. I can't remember exactly what I've called it. But anyway, the first prize is $100,000. So I think it's $100,000 first prize. I think we're offering 30,000 second, and then 20,000 for third, and then I think 10,000, 5,000, 3,000. We're offering, it's a massive, massive prize fund, $100,000 first prize for this program launching in September. And I expect that to make us several million on launch, because a lot of people are going to invest, and it's a $997 price point. So a lot of people are going to invest $997 for the chance of winning $100,000. So it is a really good incentive. And quite often, honestly, if you have every part correct, the more prize money you offer, the more sales. People were like, you're nuts offering $42,000, but it made us an extra $120,000 in sales. So we're not nuts, because you always make far more than the prize money you offer. Okay, number 5. This is the last part of the training. The number one thing you must do if you want to break the 6 or 7 figure business ceiling. Well, there's many, many things that you must do, but this is the number one. You must learn Facebook ads. And I can hear you collectively groaning like, oh God, Facebook ads is a fucking minefield. It is, but you know what? You are stronger than life is tough, and you can do this. In 2016, I bought a basic Facebook ads program and taught myself how to do Facebook marketing. It was the best $497 I'd ever spent. I successfully ran my first campaign, which made $52,000 all by myself. I did no retargeting and no sales ads. I had no video, only graphics. And I still made money. Now, interestingly, I didn't hire my director of marketing, Vanessa Vega, until after my first successful launch. I believe that learning Facebook ads is one of the reasons I'm the success you see today. Now, this is Vanessa when she came to Belfast recently. So I think we were actually really quite pissed in this photo. We had been out for lunch that day and having drinks and dinner. And anyway, she was sitting on my knee and we were taking photos. And this was actually only the second time we've ever met in person. Vanessa started working for me in 2018. So after I had run my first successful launch, I then hired a company called Dominate Web Media, they were called at the time. And Vanessa was my Facebook ads account manager. Then we moved away from Dominate Web Media, and so we had someone else run the ads for a while. And then a couple of years ago, Vanessa came back on board full time as my director of marketing, and she now runs all of the marketing for my entire company, and she doesn't work for anyone else. But a lot of people think that they have to hire a Facebook ads company right out of the gate. And they're like, oh my God, it's so prohibitive, because they wanted 10 grand to set it up, and they wanted, me to spend 25 grand a month and all this. And I'm like, you really don't need to do that. In the very beginning, I ran all my own Facebook ads, right? You can run your own Facebook ads, and you should run your own Facebook ads for your first launch. Why? You don't need to hire an expensive online guru to run your Facebook ads when you're just starting out. Sure, once you're successful, it does make sense, because you don't want to waste your time on things that aren't your highest priority. You want to do the things in your business that only you can do. But in the beginning, I actually recommend you learn to do it yourself. To break the 6-figure mark, you must know how to read and analyze your Facebook ad data. Otherwise, you'll never grow a successful online business. This is just a screen grab that I pulled out of my Kim Constable account. We have a couple of different accounts because we run ads for different accounts, different businesses that I have. But this one is actually from my Sculpted Vegan account. You can see we have everything that has the blue toggled on is basically ads that we're running at the minute. The top one is actually for Digital Marketing Blueprint for this masterclass that you've signed up for, because we decided, we've never done this before, we decided to run some of the business because the ad cost was coming in so high. We experimented. We decided to run some of the business ads inside Sculpted Vegan, and as you can see, they only went running. They were only running for a day or so, I think, and the cost per result was coming in at about £18 per lead, but that will come down every single day. So in the last year, I actually spent £1.8 million, $2.5 million on Facebook ads. That is how much we spend. That is how important they are to your business. But the reason why you must learn them in the beginning is because you have to know how to read and analyze this data. I can click into any of these ad sets and I can look at the individual metrics. And even though I don't know anywhere near as much as Vanessa, I know enough to be able to notice when things are wrong. You are responsible for your business. No one will ever care about your business the same way you do. I go into our ads every single day and I look at the cost, I look at the leads, I look at the impressions, I look at, the campaigns we're running. I talk about them with Vanessa. I say, I noticed this, I noticed this, I noticed this opt-in and this and that. And so us being able to have an intelligent conversation about the thing that drives the most revenue to my business is so important. So if you're going to start and run an online company and you're going to make it successful, why would you not? Why would you choose not to know every single thing there is to know about your business? And this is the key metric to selling online Facebook ads. There's also Google ads, which we do. There's YouTube ads, which we're starting, but I don't find them anywhere near as effective as Instagram and Facebook ads. Okay. So you must learn how to do this. Takeaway number 5, you don't need to hire an agency to run your Facebook ads, especially in the beginning. You can and should learn how to do this yourself. You do not need to spend a fortune on a Facebook ad company. You don't need to spend a fortune on a Facebook marketing campaign or Facebook marketing program. In fact, the simpler the program, the more likely you are to follow through and the more likely you are to be able to use it. You don't need to run extremely complex campaigns in the beginning, especially if you're just launching one program or one product. You just need a very simple campaign. It seems like you would need an awful lot, but you truly, truly don't. You literally need one set of ad graphics, one or two videos, two sets of graphics. Well, one set of graphics if it's just direct to sales. So 6 graphics, one video, and some short copy and some long copy. So copywriting, some text to go underneath the ad, shorter ones and longer ones. That's it. That's all you need. Okay. So simple to learn and you absolutely should learn it. So that is the end of part 1 of the training. Did you enjoy it? And again, because I can't see you or hear you, you're just going to have to either nod and say, yes, Kim, I loved it. Don't forget to tag me at The Sculpted Vegan on Instagram if you did love it and tell me that you loved it. But now we're going to move into part 2 of the training because I've kind of been teasing you the whole way through this as to something I'm going to offer you at the end. So now I'm going to tell you about different options that you have. If you've decided that I know what I'm talking about, which I promise you I do, then we have a couple of different options for you. So there are 2 paths that you can take from here. You can take the information I've given you and you can go it alone and keep learning and keep moving forward. And I have no doubt that if you are absolutely persistent, you will get there. Or option number 2, you can allow me to mentor you for 6 months to launch or relaunch your online program the profitable way. This is something I've never offered before in this specific format. So I have teamed up with my director of marketing, Vanessa Vega, who has personally managed more than $1 billion in Facebook ad spend. I'm not even kidding. $1 billion in Facebook ad spend to bring you a business offering that is completely unique. And that is Digital Marketing Blueprint. Create your $100,000 launch in 6 months or less. So this is what I'm going to tell you about now. So for the next 6 months, if you join Digital Marketing Blueprint, you can work alongside me, Vanessa, and a team of experts that we have personally hired. We have found these experts to come work on our team for the next 6 months to help you launch or relaunch your program online. This is the fastest and most effective way to create a 6-figure launch. If you join Digital Marketing Blueprint today, together we will launch your product or program in September 2022. We're very specific about when you're going to launch. So if you join the program today, for the next 6 months, starting I think in the first or second week of March, I think it's 14th of March. We all start together. Once the program closes, it closes. It's not staying open. It's not going on evergreen. This is a first round batch of entrepreneurs who want to launch their program the profitable way in September 2022. And something magical happens when you have a deadline. That's why we're doing it this way. Then this is the opportunity I'm going to give you today. So what do you get if you join Digital Marketing Blueprint? Well, you get 4 weeks intensive live and interactive sales training with me. So for the first 4 weeks, I'm going to go live twice a week. And I'm going to teach you exactly what you should be doing. All the stuff I was telling you about opt-in pages and sales pages and your website and how to find a problem that your audience is suffering from and create a product to market that. Everything that is my area of expertise, I'm going to teach you twice a week for 4 weeks, live and interactive. Then for 8 weeks, Vanessa's going to teach you Facebook ads training. So Vanessa is actually one of the top trainers in the entire world in Facebook ads. She started in Facebook ads in 2012 when Facebook ads just began. She has been running Facebook ad campaigns from the very first day that Facebook began to run ads. That is how much she knows. Then you get a 14-week implementation phase. So after you've been with me for 4 weeks, you get 2 weeks implementation, or like a 2-week study break to implement everything you've learned. And then you go into the 8 weeks training with Vanessa, and then you get 12 weeks of implementation time to create and launch, right? During this time, you're going to get weekly live Q&As inside the private Facebook group. So all of your questions that come up as you're doing the work will get answered on a weekly basis. That's either going to be with me or Vanessa or one of our experts. You're also going to get 24-hour access to the best online marketing coaches in the world. We have found the best Facebook ad coaches because Vanessa has access to them all. And we've found copywriters, digital marketers. We have a whole brand new team of moderators, 8 moderators that I have personally chosen from my network who have been with me, some of them for years and years, and others have been working diligently through all of the business material I've been teaching over the years to create their online programs. They're going to be in the group as well, helping. So you have access to a massive team of people to help you get started. You're also going to have a group of entrepreneurs supporting each other who are going through the exact same training at the exact same time. And this is worth its weight in gold. You've no idea what it's like to be going through this kind of training with a group of people who are doing it at exactly the same time. It is incredible for creating forward momentum. So how is it taught? Well, it's broken down into 5 phases. Phase 1 is the online sales system. It runs from March 21st to April 17th. Phase 2, there's a study break, okay? And it goes from April 18th until May 1st. It's for 2 weeks. Then phase 3 is the Facebook marketing system. It runs from May 2nd to June 26th. And then phase 4 is the implementation phase. This is the phase where you will do most of the work. And that's from June 27th to September 18th for 12 weeks. And then in phase 5 in September, that is when you launch and we pop open the champagne and we celebrate your success. All of the training will be done in a private Facebook group, so it's super accessible. So this is the private Facebook group. We have a couple of different groups. we've set up, because we have a couple of different options for you. But this is the private Facebook group that we have set up for Digital Marketing Blueprint. You can see we have 11 of our staff members in there already waiting to support you. And so all the training is going to be done inside a Facebook group. Why is it going to be done this way? Because it means everyone has access to Facebook. Even if you don't like Facebook, you're going to have to set up a separate account just for this training. So you can log in every day. It's all going to be filed inside Facebook. Once all the training is done, we're going to take it all out and we will eventually put it on a different platform so you don't have to access it through Facebook. But it is the easiest way to teach all of the information live and also to get feedback and Q&As in real time. Now, I have a fast action bonus for you for anyone who joins today, and that is a masterclass that I am running on March 14th, I think it is, and it's called the 7-Figure Online Marketing Masterclass. I'm just going to check the date because I want to make sure that I'm giving you the correct date for it. I think it's a Sunday. It says, no, it's not March. All my team are probably shouting at me going, okay, I'm wrong one. Sunday 20th, March 20th, okay? So I'm running a 3-hour masterclass called the 7-Figure Online Marketing Masterclass. It's live. It's 3 hours long. It's a crash course in how to get started. It's all of the information that you're going to need. A lot of it is similar to what we're going to teach inside the 6 months, but absolutely, but in a condensed version. So it means you can hit the ground running. But here's the thing. You must join today to get access to this bonus. If you've ever been through a training with me before, you'll know that we usually give you 24-hour grace period for the fast action bonus. We're not doing that this time. The fast action bonus is closing at midnight. As soon as you've watched this masterclass, the fast action bonus is closing at midnight. We have everything set on a timer from this goes out to you basically have a very short period of time to watch it, and then the fast action bonus closes at midnight. So we're not extending it past the midnight time frame, so you can't actually get it the next day. Okay, so what is the investment if you purchase the program today? Well, we added up the total value of everything you get between all of the training and all of the Q&As and the live training and access to me and to Vanessa and all of the coaches and all of that for 6 months. And the total value was $26,800. But you can get full access to the program, to the coaches, to me, to Vanessa, to everything for $197 today. $197 gets you in the door, and then there will be 11 more payments of $197 to follow. Now, just to put this in perspective, okay, that's $5.47 per day. How much do you spend on coffee or Starbucks or chai tea or whatever your guilty pleasure is? How much do you spend on a sandwich at lunchtime? Or, like whenever people say to me, oh, I can't afford it. Oh, it's so expensive. Yeah, it is expensive whenever you look at, the price all in one go. But whenever you look at what it is per day, could you find every day $5.47 and drop it into a jar? Could you get it somewhere? Whether you had to take it out of the bank or you had to borrow it from a friend or you had to, take it out of your purse or whatever. Could you find $5.47 per day? Most people could. And that is what it will cost to get to purchase this program. But also just think about it, okay? I love pulling out my calculator. If you launch a $97 program in September, you only need to sell 20 programs to cover this cost. Your first 20 programs will cover the 6 months training that we are offering in this program. Isn't that incredible? If you want to actually make it like that, or if you want to put it down to that, I sold 130 programs in the first day. Or you say you're selling a $47 program, right? So for a $47 program, you need to sell 43 programs to cover this cost. If you ain't selling 43 programs in your first day after you've learned everything that I'm teaching in 6 months, you're doing something seriously wrong. Honestly, not even kidding. So if you want to purchase, here's where you go now. You go to themilliondollarmentor.com/DMB-FAB. It's a very long and crappy URL, and I didn't even realize it was like this until my team had already created it. I would have made it something a lot easier. So themilliondollarmentor.com/DMB-FAB is where you go to purchase the program today. Now, if you want more personalized coaching, I'm just going to take a drink of water. 1 second. If you want more personalized coaching, we do have a couple of different options for you. You can choose the gold option, which is 6 months live training, which is what I told you. Everyone gets that in every option. Plus, you get monthly small group Zoom coaching calls. So every single month, you will jump on a coaching call with me or Vanessa or one of the coaches, and we will walk you through all of your problems. So this is actually a face-to-face Zoom call. There's usually, in this last option that we ran, we had an average of 6 people on this call every week. So this is a chance for you to get real personalized attention. I went through people's websites. I went through their sales pages. I pulled apart all of their offerings. I went through their entire funnels. This is a much higher level of coaching with this gold option, which is obviously reflective in the price. So the price of that is $497 per month, or if you want to break it down daily over a 12-month period, it's $13.69 per day. $13.69 per day if you want that higher level of coaching. Now, I do have an option available. I think we're only taking 10 people in this option. Excuse me. It's a platinum option. In the platinum option, you get the 6-month live training, you get the monthly small group Zoom coaching calls, but you also get weekly mastermind calls with me or Vanessa. So I have just finished a 6-month mastermind with a group of women, absolutely phenomenal women, where every Tuesday we met live on Zoom, and I went through all of their businesses. They got full access to my entire network. So with this option, you basically have access to every single part of my business. There is nothing that you cannot access. We gave them our launch summaries. We gave them cheat sheets, emails, Facebook ad graphics, access to all our best people. We find them Facebook marketing people. We find them copywriters. I wrote their ads for them. Like, you've no idea. This is like basically having me as your mentor for a full 6 months. Me and Vanessa to troubleshoot your ads, to help you. I mean, this is another level of coaching, okay? Which is obviously reflective in the price, because my time is worth about $20,000 an hour at the minute. So for this one though, it's $1,997 per month, or that works out at about $49 per day. So you can pay in full. That one's $18,000 if you pay in full. The other one actually is, I think it's $4,997 if you pay in full. Obviously, the payment plan makes it slightly more expensive, but it also works out at about $49 per day, or you can pay monthly over 12 months, which is $1,997. And we're only taking 10 people for that. And once the 10 spaces are gone, they're gone. And last time they filled up within a couple of days. So if you want to purchase, go here, milliondollarmentor.com/DMB-FAB. If you purchase now, I won't shout out your name on the webinar, because obviously you're watching the replay. So I'm not going to be able to see your name in the webinar, but I wish I could see your name in the webinar. Now here's an option that many of you might have, which is PayPal credit. So PayPal credit has been a wonderful option helping people get started online. It helps you to spread the cost over 24 months. So whenever you join using PayPal credit, your first payment isn't due for 35 days. So to apply for PayPal credit, you basically go to paypal.com. You apply for the credit, the $1,997 credit. I think the maximum you can apply for is maybe $4,000. So you apply for the $1,997 credit, you have it credited to your PayPal account, and then you come back to our website to purchase. That's how it works. It's not done through us, the PayPal credit, it's done through PayPal's website. But you can spread the cost over 24 months. And the best part about it is, if you sign up for PayPal credit today, the first payment won't come out of your account for 35 days. So it's a really good way for you to defer the payments. It also slashes the payments in half. Rather than it being $197 a month, I think it makes it about $97 a month. So it is a really good way to spread the cost a little further. And then of course, once you have your launch in 6 months and it's a massive success, you can just pay the rest of that PayPal credit debt off on the same day. I loved paying off debts whenever I did my first launch. So if you have a question, you can go to support@themilliondollarmentor.com. My team are standing by to answer your questions. We also have a live chat on the website, so you can go to themilliondollarmentor.com and you can ask questions there. If you find it's a little clogged up, which it may be, you can go to thesculptedvegan.com and you can use the live chat on the Sculpted Vegan, because my team are also standing by on there, and it's the same customer service team that runs both companies. So we have loads and loads of options for you. Also, if you just think that you want to talk to someone on the phone, you can just request that, and someone from the team will call you to talk you through your different options, especially if you're considering the platinum option and you want to talk to someone face to face. That's absolutely fine too. Someone can absolutely call you back. So don't forget, you get the fast action bonus if you sign up today. It's only if you sign up today. It expires at midnight. At midnight, the the page just turns off, or just diverts actually back to the regular page. And that is the 7-Figure Online Marketing Masterclass. You get that. It's a 3-hour live and interactive workshop with me and Vanessa happening Sunday, March 20th. But you must join today to get this bonus. Don't forget, we have the different options for you for personalized coaching. The gold option gets you everything plus monthly small group Zoom coaching calls. The platinum option gets you everything plus the gold coaching calls plus the weekly mastermind calls. So that really is the fast track for anybody who honestly, if I was running an online business, whenever I started my business, I borrowed $30,000 from a friend to start it because I knew I needed the money. And so that's the kind of thing that I would do, to be honest. I'm not saying that anyone should do that, but I knew I was serious and I knew I would not let myself fail. I've always had the mindset of I will do whatever it takes and I will not let myself fail. And so, I would have borrowed the money to do it, and then I would have actually made sure that I did it. Because those who are more invested, or whenever it's really tough for you financially to actually make the payments, I usually find those people they work the hardest. If it's easy for you to make the payment, then you don't value it as much. And again, just the URL to purchase, themilliondollarmentor.com/DMB-FAB. And don't forget, you can use PayPal credit to purchase. Your first payment will not be due for 35 days. You apply at paypal.com. I don't think it's available in Australia currently. They may have changed that, but do check in your country. So are you ready to launch or relaunch your 6-figure product in 168 days? Then get yourself into Digital Marketing Blueprint. It is now open. It is ready. It is waiting for you. And I cannot wait to see you on the inside. Unfortunately, we do not have a Q&A because you're watching the replay. But if you do have a question, you can write into support@themilliondollarmentor.com or use the live chat option, and one of the team will be standing by to chat to you. We're not doing the cash giveaway again because this is the replay. But don't forget about the fast action bonus, which is only available today. And that is... And that will be sent to you. You'll be given access to it or sent your access code as soon as you purchase. And I think that is the last slide. Guys, we ran for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. I hope that I see you inside Digital Marketing Blueprint. I would love to answer your questions if you have them. You can absolutely, if you want to connect with me personally, you can send me a DM on Instagram @thesculptedvegan. I'm in my DMs every single day. So, but also you can connect with the team. You can go to the live chat. Any questions that you have to help you to make a purchasing decision, we are absolutely here for you. The program closes completely in, I think, a couple of weeks. I just want to check the date. I'll tell you now when the program closes. Pretty sure it closes March 13th. So you have until March 13th to decide. Then the program closes and we are starting to, get everybody ramped up in the Facebook group, and then we're all going to start together. And once it closes for good. You have missed your opportunity. I don't know that I'll ever do this live again. Anything I do in the future will be recorded. This is the only time you can ever access me live for the full 6 months to hold your hand launching your online product. And I cannot wait to see what you do with it. Thank you so much for showing up today. I really appreciate your time and attention, and I hope that I will catch up with you soon. This is Kim Constable sending lots and lots and lots of love. Mwah. Kisses from me to you. Bye-bye.